Hello, Essential Being. I have just recorded the latest episode of the podcast and it's going to be out on Halloween. And this one, it's not about Halloween at all. But this one is all about creativity. And do you actually make time for your creative endeavors? Do you actually carve out time and make it a priority? Because with AI coming in and being so prominent in our lives now, I mean, we've already seen it taking a lot of jobs. It is taking jobs from artists now as well. You can just get songs made and you can get pictures made, paintings made. You can impose yourself onto backgrounds or places that you've never even been before. And you've got to ask yourself now, when you look on social media and online, like, is what you're seeing actually real? And this feeling really scares me for so many reasons. And I feel we live at a pivotal time in history where you, me, and everybody else has to actually make an effort to keep our creative spark alive, to feed our creative spark. We have to do that because we don't want to lose that part. We are born into this world as creative beings. We really, really are. And we are so taught to channel that whilst we're young. We sing and we dance and we play. And then as we grow up, we kind of lose that. You got to get a job, get in line, buckle up your ideas and all that. And we lose that creative energy within us and it just goes a bit more dormant. Even if you do play with it a bit now, is it easy, or do you find that it's hard to create that time for it? So it's so important that we can try and tune into that flow, because we live in a world where if you grow up and you do some sort of discipline when you're young, like maybe you sing, maybe you're a musician, maybe you do ballet, maybe you're a gymnast, but when you get to a certain point and you've been doing it for a certain amount of time, are you good enough? Are you good enough to go the distance? Because in a lot of these places and these classes and these setups, we are taught that either you're good enough and then you've got to put yourself out there, put yourself on the line, subject yourself to so many hours of training to be better because you've got what it takes. Or, so that's damaging in itself. Or we are told at such a young age, you're not good enough. And if you're not good enough to do it, we don't want you. And even if that hasn't actually happened to you, I bet you'll agree that we do live in a time when that actually is a thing. So if you're taught that from such a young age, or it's happened to a friend of yours at such a young age, that goes into your psyche. It goes in deep and it sends a message that, well, you're not good enough. And if you're not good enough, you can't do it. And I just think that's so wrong. And I remember a friend of mine years ago, he was trying to find ballet classes for adults. He couldn't find anywhere. And I was like, are you kidding me? This was about 15 years ago. And I was like, you can't, what do you mean you can't find any? Like, why are people not doing this as an adult? And that was one of those little times to me when it hit home, like, wow, we are really taught to really push our creative. Unless you can be creative and earn money and be that sort of good, it's not worth it. And obviously, I don't agree with that at all. So I'm here to help you feed your creativity, feed that part of your soul. And it doesn't matter about the outcome. It doesn't matter. And this is the same reason why people learn to pole. People can get so caught up on the outcome of their pole dancing journey. And it's like, no, just enjoy it. I mean, to be honest, I love the basics because I can switch off and just flow. That is the whole point. It's not about I've got to learn the best thing, got to learn the next thing. And I remember something came up on my time hop recently and it said, don't fear the pole dancer who knows 10,000 moves. Fear the pole dancer who's done one move 10,000 times. And I was like, that is the whole point. It's about the journey.